tonight we're having company over and they've got some younger kids. So one of the things I like to do sometimes is I'll get my old Atari 2600 out, teach the kids a lesson about how horrible the video games were in my generation. Now when I plugged it in, didn't work. And it turns out what the problem is the adapter, the cord, from bending so many times broke and right inside of here. So real quickly I'm going to show you how to repair a broken adapter today. Now the first thing we have to do is crack the chassis open. So what I like to do for cutting plastic is something I call a hot knife. It's an old Swiss Army knife. You get it red hot and then you go ahead and put that knife in right along the split line of the chassis. And you just keep doing this. You have to do it a few times, probably twice on each seam before it'll open up. And then you wrap on it, use a prying screwdriver, wrap on it with a hammer, and it'll open it up. And then you can go ahead and solder the wires back onto where they'll go properly and kind of monkey it all back together. I know it seems like this is kind of a silly thing to do. Adapters are a dime a dozen, but it really only takes me a couple minutes to do it. This is the original Atari adapter. I've had this thing since, probably since I was 12, 13 years old. So it's just a little sentimental value to it for me fixing it. You do want to use ventilation with this. The smoke is really bad news. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this and then we'll show you how to solder it back on there in just a second. Okay, so I went ahead and cracked the case. I took a look at it. Now this wire has a stripe on it. It's probably the negative, so I'm going to put a little hash mark here for negative, and then we're gonna drill this out. This is a little rubber guide that's supposed to protect the wire from breaking. So we're going to run a drill bit through here to feed the wire through it again. Make sure you feed the wire through before you solder it. I make that mistake every time I do this. Then we're going to just tape it back up, and like with anything involving AC or electronics, I wouldn't recommend you try this at home. I'm not responsible. Your house will burn down probably instantaneously as soon as you even think about doing this. Something is smoldering under your bed. So don't do it, ladies and gents. Okay, you can see here the wire with the stripe is soldered in where the little hash mark was. Here are I tinned the wires first. That means I put a little flux on them and soldered them and then snipped them so they were nice pointy. Put the soldering on here, the soldering iron on here, and melted it, and then pushed it through with my other hand. I had my wife help me with the other one. So basically this was only a couple of minutes, and of course I'm going to have to tape this back together or glue it if I want to get fancy. And I could use a grinder, grind off some of this flash here, this extra plastic. But there you go, original Atari adapter back in business. Thanks for joining us, Hacking for Fun with Petey. See you next time.